Do you believe that the intelligence that you were born with is limiting factor, that it will determine your ability to be good at certain things and not so good at others, that it's something that is inherent to you and it's based on your DNA and there's nothing that you can do to develop it further? I'm here to tell you, my friend, that you are absolutely wrong. There are ways in which you can develop your capacity, increase your intelligence, and today I want to share 3 specific tips that have helped me personally in doing so. Welcome to the Meaningful Leaders channel. And before we deep dive into the 3 tips that I want to share with you today, I wanted to give you a little bit of the background story because I found it to be very interesting, and I think that you will too. So it's about a study performed by Dr. Carol Dweck, in which she recruited small gifted children, grade school children, and asked them to resolve different puzzles, and the complexity of the puzzles started to increase progressively as these kids started to resolve them. It was to observe these children while they were resolving puzzles. And of course, these puzzles were simple at first, and then the complexity of the puzzle started to get bigger and bigger. And as that complexity increased, the behavior of these students started to change. So some of them, a large group actually, started to get very frustrated, even disengaged. Some of them were like, oh, this is too difficult. I'm probably not as smart as I thought I was. But then there was the second group, a much smaller group. But these students were like, yes, I love this challenge. This puzzle is really difficult. It's really making me think. And the attitude was completely different. They perceived that the complexity on the puzzle are not in their inability to solve it right away. They associated it with perfect. I'm about to learn something new because it's a puzzle. It has to get resolved. It has to have a solution. So I'm about to learn something new. And that difference in behavior is what she labeled to the first group as fixed mindset, and the second group, the ones that were really excited about the challenge, as growth mindset. So the difference is really comes down to our mindset, our ability to perceive a challenge as an opportunity for growth and not perceive it as a roadblock. So tip number 1, we are going to replace I can't with I am still learning. And the reason why we are doing this is because we need to stop saying those lies to ourselves that we can't do something. We can't do it right now because we haven't learned how to do it. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. For the longest time, I've always perceived myself as not as a non-artistic person. I'm not keen to drawing. I'm not keen to painting. So I've always, when I talk about me, I always say I'm not an artistic person, or I'm not an artist. However, I'm extremely good at calligraphy. And if you think about it, calligraphy is a form of drawing, is not a form of writing. So I've learned calligraphy because I'm passionate about it, and I am creating some sort of art that requires drawing. So it's really about understanding that if I can do it right away, it's not because I'm incapable of doing it, because I am not yet there. I haven't learned it yet. So it's important how we word those things and the mindset that we put behind those words. For tip number 2, replace I'm not good at it with I'm still mastering it. And the reason why we change that is because we want to avoid putting a negative connotation in an action that we are envisioning or that we are trying to achieve. And I'll give you an example of this as well. For example, let's say that volleyball. I used to play volleyball in high school, and when you're serving, there's a big difference between visualizing the volleyball going over the net to the opposing team and thinking, I shouldn't hit that net. I shouldn't hit that net. You're gonna hit it. Why? Because you're putting your focus on not hitting the net. So that's exactly the outcome you're going to get. So focusing in, I'm still mastering it, instead of throwing a negative affirmation to ourselves saying that we're not good at it. It's going to help us into developing our growth mindset and really seeing ourselves as that person that can achieve that specific goal. So for the third tip that I wanted to share with you today, and it's a very simple one, but it's very profound. Give yourself grace. And this is a very important one, because sometimes we are too hard on ourselves, and when things don't come easy or immediate to us and we don't master something right away, we give up. And sometimes we give up when we were very, very close to achieving something. So I want you to approach new challenges, learning new skills with that mindset of giving yourself grace, because we can go from 0 to 60 in a few seconds. We really need to progressively go there. And one key element about growth and about high performance and about productivity is the compound effect. We learn every day, we fine-tune our skills, and that small step-by-step progression is what builds our confidence over time. So I'm going to give you an example for this one that is very specific, but again, very profound. A baby. When a baby's learning how to walk, baby starts to crawl, and one day he or she grabs onto the couch and starts wobbly standing up. That baby is gonna fall down several times way before he or she can master giving those first steps. And they don't give up. They don't think they're stupid. They see other people doing it around them, their parents, grandparents, other children, and in their mind, there's no any preconceptions that they are incapable or inadequate. All they know is, if they can do it, I can do it too. So their approach is, okay, I'm gonna try again and try again and try again. And they keep trying until one day they actually walk. And we all went through it, but we forgot it. So give yourself that grace. Remember that baby. Remember those first steps. Everything in life is built step by step, and there are going to be some growing pains throughout that process, but don't give up, don't quit, because it's the only way in which we can develop our skills, in which we can expand our mindset and set goals that are that may feel uncomfortable at first, but that we grow into it. Because if we remain into our comfort zone, there's no growth there. So please practice those tips and comment in the comment section below. Your feedback will help me in serving you better and bringing the content that adds value to you, that is helpful and that is interesting for you. So please comment, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you here next week. See ya.